Everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right.
You good? Let's look them across the shoulder.
Nikki, kick us off.
Just your reaction on Coach Prime getting an extension and that news over spring break.
Oh my goodness, I was so excited. It's going to help us in every aspect, especially recruiting. I had a joke with him a little bit yesterday about buying me a yacht or something. With the new money, he got a little bit to spend. But yeah, no, I'm super excited. It's going to be great for the program, great for the city of Boulder, and I'm super excited for where this place is going to go now. So.
Ben, what are your thoughts coming into this year? You know, Coach Pollock talked about you being a leader in that special teams group, but I know you'd also like to get some playing time and a starting job at safety.
Yep.
So, kind of, what's your approach to this season?
Yeah, it's I've been asked upon the new role to become a leader on the defense, and so it's a learning curve for sure. You know, I was thrown out there the first day of practice, and I've never run with the ones before, so I was a little nervous, but you know, I picked up on it pretty quick, and yeah, it's been a fun role to learn so far, and it's been tough. It's been really new. We got a lot of new guys and a lot of new faces, so communication has been a really big emphasis, and getting around the guys and getting to know each other. But it's been a good learning curve for all of us, and we're getting a lot better. So it's been super cool.
With that too, though, just to follow up real quick, sorry.
Yep.
But your special teams role too. I mean,
Yeah.
with the way Pollock looks at you as a leader there, do you take that seriously as well too? And have you enjoyed being a special teamer the last few years?
Oh yeah, I've loved it. Midway through the season last year, they asked me to step up more and do more of a coaching role. So, you know, I had to coach a lot of kids through a lot of things too, and so I think that's what they're asking of me on defense too. But yeah, I'm going to continue that role. My goal is to be a starter on defense and play on all four special teams. So I don't ever want to leave the field. So.
Ben, do you think back to kind of the journey you've been on now? You're going into your senior season, from where you started to now, like you said, getting those reps with the first team defense.
Yeah, man, it's been a grind, and I'm thankful to the Lord. I'm thankful for Coach Prime, for Coach Liv, for all the coaches. It's been a grind. You know, as a walk-on, I've had to earn every single thing I've gotten, and so I can't thank the people around me enough. I'd be nowhere if it weren't for my teammates and my coaches. So I'm just happy to have made it healthy thus far and to continue to get better. So it's awesome.
As one of the few OBs left, just kind of how would you describe the progress you've seen from the start of Coach Prime's tenure to now, where you guys are heading into year 3 under him?
As a team or as myself?
Both, if you want to.
As a team, obviously we got a lot of new faces. So I don't know I don't know how a lot of the guys started out, but it's been cool to see how much better we've gotten through spring ball. You know, we're through 7 practices now, and we've gotten significantly better. Obviously, we still got a long ways to go, and but yeah, it's been good progress. I've made great progress since Coach Prime has got here. He's really bought into me, and that's one of the things that's been super cool for me is the way that he's believed in me since day one. And so yeah, it's been a great process.
Overall, with just this new group of incoming players, what stands out to you the most about them?
The D-line. I love my D-line, man. They've been hunting. Those guys are balling. You know, we're turning a lot of the DBs except for Trav. Well, I say the DBs, the corners. So we got Preston back and DJ and Colton. So those guys those guys have been balling. But I'm impressed with the D-line, man. They make it easy for us. We gave them a challenge at the beginning of camp or the beginning of spring ball to ball out and make it easy on us, and they've taken that challenge and they've eaten. So it's been super awesome to watch.
And what's it been like getting to know Tawfiq Byard, and what does he bring to your guys' team on the field?
Oh, I love Tawfiq Byard. I've learned a lot from him. You know, he came from a similar structured defense back at his old school. So we've been able to talk a lot of ball, and I've learned a lot of things from him. And I think he's learned a lot of things from me too, just us talking. And, you know, we ride together every morning, so we talk about ball and talk about the upcoming day. And so we've learned a lot from each other, and he's been a great teammate, so I love him.
How much did Cam and Shiloh help you throughout the last couple of years? What did you learn from them, and kind of how much do you lean on them now as you're competing to try to take their former jobs?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be calling Cam with some words of advice. I think one of the things that I learned from Cam is just how to be the leader. You know, that's obviously I'm still learning how to step into that role, but he was very good at it, and I've learned a lot from him how to do that. And same from Coach Livingston, and from Shiloh, just the energy. You know, I love Shiloh's energy. He's my dog. He's one of my best friends. And so, yeah, I love the way that he played with high energy and was always hitting people, so that's what I've learned from him.
Last question for Ben.
What has this new iteration of the safety room been like working with these guys?
It's brand new, a lot of new faces, except for, you know, me and Carter Stoutmeyer. So we've had to get around each other. I think that's been the biggest thing, get to know each other on a personal level, the things we've been through, and how we can lean on one another. And so we've had to learn how to communicate with each other. And that's been a new thing. You know, I'm used to communicating with Cam and Shiloh and other guys. So that's been the biggest thing, is just understanding how we think, what our strengths and weaknesses are. So that's been the biggest thing.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
You guys are the best.
Thank you.
You're the best.
Yeah, D lineman in the country right here.
I'm trying to get there. Adam, kick us off.
Hart and Coach Livingston was talking about how you're one of the guys he's looking to step up as a leader. How have you kind of taken on that challenge this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the initiative. I think I got to bring the guys along and set the tone. It starts up front, obviously, so I can make sure I make some noise in the backfield and whatever you need to do, set the edge, or even bring the guys along, like being a vocal leader as well. So make sure I step up in that leadership role.
Does it come natural for you, the leadership aspect?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've coached from the back. I've been in the middle with some guys, and then even just some guys that are not even in my position. Like I feel like I can bring them along and be an uplifter and speak life into them. So.
Route 3 Bob, we've heard a lot of hype about the D-line. What looks different about them, and what makes them so efficient this spring?
I think we're just getting after it on defense. Defensive line, we're definitely we're loaded. I would say we got some guys much more depth as well. So I think we're continuing just to stack days with these practices, and then bring the guys that came in along as well. So make sure they know the defense and be ready for August. So.
Was a collaborative effort between the coaches last year, similar even with Coach Elo and Coach Pecco coming in? Just kind of how's that been this spring, working with 2 new coaches, and just kind of how do you feel like those guys have meshed so far this spring?
I mean, it's been no drop off. They understood the expectation for the defensive linemen, so they make sure that we're on top of our game regardless. Make sure we know our alignment, assignment, and keys, of course. So.
Arden, what have you seen out of Tajay so far in his 3rd year in the program?
I mean, he's coming along. Like I said, he's been developing. I'm glad that he's just been an incubator, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do. So I think he's been doing great, honestly.
Arden, what are your thoughts on the NCAA not allowing the spring game with Colorado? What are your thoughts on that? How cool that would have been?
That would have been cool, man. We're setting trends around here. That's what we do at Colorado. So, I mean, if we were able to do that, I mean, that would have been awesome. But, I mean, I wish we could have. I feel like it's going to happen in the future, though. So, yeah.
You keep getting better every year. Starting from Missouri to here. What do you feel like is the key to your progression this year and getting even better for you this year?
I think, especially, what Coach George is preaching to me was about, IQ, just knowing what's going on. I feel like that's been helping me play faster. So, it's just, knowing formations and just reading my keys and stuff like that. I feel like if I continue to be consistent with that, I feel like I can be one of the best players in the country. So.
Seemed like you played a big role in helping to improve run defense last year. You guys on the edge seemed like you took that personally, trying to set the edge last year. I mean, how has that carried over kind of in the offseason to guys who are maybe taking bigger roles, just kind of making sure they understand the importance of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a mindset thing. You got to make your mind up to play the run. I mean, everybody wants to pass rush, but you had to stop the run to play the pass. So I think earning the right to rush the passer. I've been preached that my whole life. So just taking the initiative of playing the run. I put my boots on every time I see a run play.
What are you seeing out of those 2 new quarterbacks, Julian Lewis and Caden Salter?
I feel like they're both battling it out. We're getting different feels from both quarterbacks. Obviously, Caden's been in the game, and then you got a freshman, Julian. I think he's been coming along as well. I think they're both be really good. So.
After being around him all last year, what's your pitch to NFL teams on BJ Green? Just kind of what he brings to the table.
I think he's a scrappy guy. He brings energy. He makes the energy plays. He was getting us going at times when he needed it. So I'm excited for BJ to play at that next level for sure. So I mean, hope those guys pick him up and he makes the best of his opportunities.
Any particular? Go ahead. Any particular new offensive lineman standing out to you?
I mean, I think I've been battling against Jordan every day, but I mean that's who I've been going against every day, really. So, but I think everyone's kind of coming along.
What are your first impressions of some of them? 2 of them young bulls in your edge room, Alexander and London.
He'll be ready. I promise you, he'll be ready. I mean, I'm not sure giving any bulletin board material, but they're coming along for sure. They've been learning fast, which I mean, I appreciate that for sure. I feel like as a freshman, that's something I was preached to, and I think I've been telling them the same thing. So they've been trying to figure it out because they want to play, and I think they're hungry as well. So I really appreciate that they love the game.
You just mentioned Jordan. Just how have you seen him kind of come along the second year?
I mean, honestly, he's been getting me better, and I feel like we've been going back and forth every rep. So I feel like we coach each other up when we got to fix our techniques and stuff like that. But I think he'll be ready, and he's been doing really good. So.
Last question for Arden. Thank you, Arden.
Thanks, Arden.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh,
What up?
good.
Yes, sir. Is there a heart?
That look cold.
He's looking at me and saying that. Yes, I
Nikki, go ahead.
Coach, just your reaction to Coach Prime's extension and how exciting that is for your future and his future.
Yeah, I think it was, honestly, it was expected. I think you should get paid, no pun intended, for having doing an excellent job. And, of course we want to do better, but yeah, I was very excited.
Coach, you lose both your starting linebackers. What does that group look like right now as you're trying to? I know there's a lot of practice to go, a lot of months to go, but your early impressions of this new group.
Well, they're competitive. I think you get the same thing if you got guys that want to play. You of course went to the portal, as we always do, right? And you get guys that come here who have a chip on their shoulder, want to prove something, or they just want to get to the next level, and we can provide them the exposure. So right now they're working hard, but of course it is. There's a lot of football left, a lot of practice left, so we're not sure how it's going to shape out. But I do like the intensity of how they're playing.
You got two guys through the portal with a lot of experience. I think they were all conference guys last year. Are you seeing them step up as leaders and kind of taking a leadership role and initiative on the field a little bit?
Well, I'm seeing them be pros right now. So what they're doing is they're making sure they learn the defense, and then they're doing the right things and saying the right things so they can be the leaders. They're not trying to jump or do anything like that, but they are not leading by example per se, but they're asking the right questions, and they're pros in the meeting rooms. They're not late to anything, and they're just trying to get the job done. So.
You recruited Mantrez Walker for a long time. He's finally on campus. What are your early impressions, and what are the biggest challenges for a young true freshman going through this transition?
Well, I think just the speed of the game is the thing that they got to get used to, and then also he's in a new system. So you want to develop him and keep him going forward, and then get him with those guys who've been here, so you can have a room of leaders lead him. If I got to keep coaching him, I think that's a problem. He has to be infectious with the team, and he's doing that so far.
Coach, the last few years on the recruiting trail, other programs have been able to say, negative recruiting tactics, say, you don't know if Coach Prime's going to be here. Now we have him locked up, obviously for a foreseeable future. How do you think that will kind of help this program continue to recruit at a high level?
Well, it's already been helping. Like, you got guys who even hit us back, and they're giving us the thumbs up and the praise, and they want to be here. But, it's a tactic that I think only works on people who have a little bit of doubt, because any coach can leave at any time.
Yeah.
Nothing's guaranteed. But, it's been exciting because we got a lot of feedback and a lot of people calling us back.
Got Levante Bentley trying to take the next step in his career. Just what would your message be to NFL teams taking a look at him?
He's a tough physical player, man. He's a football player at the end of the day, minus any attributes you may think he doesn't have. He's a hard worker, and he can take hard coaching.
How is the development of guys who are returning, like, Keaton and Jalen coming along?
Well, you want to see them take the steps they've been taking, being a second year or third year in the system, getting better and being in that leadership role where they're making calls on the field. That's the biggest thing I've seen now that my two linebackers are out, that they're actually stepped up and they're making calls on the field, so that's exciting.
Last year, Nikai Green, Levante Bentley, they were the quarterbacks on the defensive side. Who do you see in your room could potentially hold that role this season?
Good trick question. I'm not sure just yet who that is, but we're gonna keep evaluating.
Coach Prime said the other day that you may still be doing some fishing yet in the portal. Is your room one of those that you may be trolling for?
Every room is open because we're always trying to create competition.
We have heard a lot about the defensive line as well.
Mm-hmm.
That group obviously can make your life easier as well as linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
What are you seeing out of that group, the front seven, or the front group?
Yeah, well, I think I'm seeing the same thing. You got a bunch of athletic guys who are trying to prove the point that they can be the guy. Even on the front line, we've had a lot of change, right, as far as roster is concerned. So it's creating competition, and everybody wants to say, I can be the guy, which we love.
Heard a lot of Coach Prime and Coach Livingston give a lot of praise for Coach Mathis. You've been around him for a long time too. What, in your mind, makes him such a good coach, and it makes him such a good teacher at that cornerback spot?
He's a pro. The man is a pro, day in and day out. Early days, late nights. He's always watching film. He's always ready to talk ball, and he's always ready to give you a hand. He really takes on that tribe mentality. No job is too big. No job is too small.
Last question for Coach.
How big is it for this defense to have Robert Livingston coming back, and some of the guys know the playbook and stuff at this point?
It's exciting because I think you saw the steps we took last year, and we can only get better from here. So to have him come back and believe in us and trust in us and say, hey, we can do something here, it just revs everybody up, and then, you're running the same system, so now everybody's a lot more clear, a lot more clarity in what we're doing, and we want to get after it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.
It's a little cold out there, Curtis. Hey, and you're the only one I care about.